Hi everyone, good evening. Can you all hear me? Am I audible? Perfect, thank you. Guys, we'll wait for maybe another 2 minutes and then I'll be sharing the link for the quiz. I can see only 37, 38 participants. So we'll wait for another 2 minutes. By 8:32, I'll be sharing the link for the quiz. You want to know about tomorrow's session or today's session? Tejas? Or yesterday's session, because I'm not sure what is it that you're asking. Yesterday, if you want a brief about yesterday's session, we had an introduction to Power BI. We just installed Power BI and discussed what and it's okay. We all make mistakes. Don't worry. We discussed why is Power BI important. What is it that we use it for? Who are the competitors? So it was all theory session. I hope you have Power BI installed. If not, please install Power BI in in this session because you'll be using it. And yeah, I think we'll be starting with the quiz. So guys who are new to this, you would probably know this, but still, I'll give you the idea. Before every session we start, I'll give you a quiz which is for 5 minutes, and that quiz will be what was covered during the previous class. Right, so I'll be sharing the link for the quiz. Please take this quiz, everyone. Yeah, you have it on your. Oh, I'm sorry. I think that's the previous one. I'll just share this. Yeah, what I'm sharing is the new, link. Please take this quiz, everyone. And I'll give you all 5 minutes. It's 8:33. I'll give you time till 8:38. Please take this quiz, and then we all, can discuss this. Okay, let me share this again. Yeah, I'm sharing the link for the quiz on the chat. Please, take this. Make sure you complete it. It's very easy what we covered yesterday. So make sure you take this. And for anyone who doesn't have Power BI, I'll also share the link for downloading it. Yeah, if you have done, great. If not, please complete it. You have another 4 minutes. can see that a lot of you have completed. Maybe we'll wait for 1 more minute. So Tejas, if you want to install, just go to that link, click on download. You will be seeing a blue color button, download, and select the first option or the second option where it says PBI desktop x64.exe, the one that is bigger in size. Just select that. And once you download, just double click on it and it will be installed. Very straightforward process. Okay, today's quiz being a very easy one, and on the first day, a lot of you have completed. So let's discuss the answers. So, a minute. Yeah, you can have a look. Let's discuss this quickly. What is Power BI primarily used for? Yeah, it is option B, data visualization and business intelligence reporting. Right. So the primary purpose, look at the word carefully, it says primary. The primary purpose of Power BI is for data visualization. You can create good charts and graphs, and business intelligence, which is, to give business decisions, to take business decisions which are proper. It is not used for writing SQL queries or managing database or designing websites. Which of the following is not a core component of Power BI? Option C, right, which is PowerPoint. Now, even though it has the term Power, it is not a part of Power BI. Power BI Desktop is one version. Power Query is an inbuilt feature of Power BI. Power BI Service is another version. It's mostly, the paid version, right? But PowerPoint, it's a completely different software, right? That's used for creating presentations. It's used for creating reports. However, it has no link to Power BI. The only link is you can export your Power BI chart into a PowerPoint, but other than that, it's not a core component. Which company created Power BI? I'm pretty sure you all would easily answer this. It's Microsoft, right? The term itself is Microsoft Power BI. So Microsoft is the one that has created it. Which of the following is not a competitor for Power BI? Python. Python is a programming language, whereas Tableau, ClickSense, and Alteryx, these are data visualization or business intelligence tools. Whereas Python is a programming language, which, using which you can also create visuals, but it's not a competitor for Power BI. And the last one, Power BI can be used only for data visualization. It's actually false. Now, I know that some of you might be confused. You might see data visualization in the first option and you come down and you see false. Because for the first one, the primary purpose is data visualization. But what we have learned yesterday is it can be used for data analysis, data manipulation, data transformation, data cleaning, and so on. Right. So the answer for this is false. So I hope you're clear on this very easy quiz. Now we will start with today's session. Maybe I'll tell you the agenda for today's session. We will have the look and feel of Power BI, which means, we'll understand the interface of Power BI. And we will also be working a little bit on what are all the options that is available in Power BI. Right, this is what we would be doing in this session. And if time permits, we'll also import a data and we'll create a little bit of visuals. Right. Everyone, I'm going to give you a minute. Please open Power BI. Right. I'll close this. This is the screen, but still, I'll also open it from my end. Please open Power BI, everyone. Just go to your search window and search for Power BI. You'll get this option that says Power BI Desktop. Right, you can select Power BI Desktop and it will get open. So please open this. It might take a few minutes, probably 1 or 2 minutes, because this would be the first time that you're opening. And that's a quite, a big software. So it might take a little bit of time. Don't worry. Just leave it. Don't do anything. Let it get opened. And you would be seeing a screen that says, blank report and so on. So I'll wait for a minute. Let this get opened, and you can also try it in the meantime. I'll give you all a minute. And if you're on this screen, this is the first screen of Power BI. If you're on this screen, you can select a data source. There are a lot of options. You can connect Power BI data with an SQL server, Excel workbook, OneLake catalog. OneLake is also, a kind of a data, storage mechanism. Right? There are a lot of these options. You can just select a blank report, right? What we are going to create is a blank report. From there, we will be doing the other things. So if you're on this screen, select blank report. And the minute you select blank report, you will be getting a screen like this. And we will discuss more on this. But everyone, please confirm if you're on this screen. When you select blank report, it would take you to the screen. Please confirm if you're on the screen. Okay, others also please let me know if you're on the screen and if we can move on. Okay, a lot of you are on the screen. So this is your Power BI screen, and this is where we would be working in this course. This is the screen that you'll be looking at a lot, and we will be doing a lot of changes on this. We'll be working with a lot of things. Now, you have a few options here on top. You can see those options. There is home, there is insert, there is modeling, and you would be having view, optimize, help. These are different options. However, don't need to confuse yourself much. Most of the time we'll be on this home option. If you go to insert, you can see you can insert reports, you can insert text box, buttons, images, and so on. Under modeling, you have new table, new measure. View will just modify the view. Optimizes, if you're using a lot of charts and you want to optimize the performance, you can check that, and help us the general window. Right. Now, as I said, we'll be using the home window. If you are good enough on Excel, using Power BI would be easier because there are a lot of similar features. Like what we do on Excel, there are a lot of similar features in Power BI. For example, here, if you see page one, you can add multiple pages, like how we would be adding multiple sheets, right? We would be adding multiple pages here in Excel if you want. And here on this right side, you might be seeing an option called as visualization. These are the different charts that are present. So this is a basic understanding of the interface of Power BI, like how Power BI looks. We will be going into these options one by one. We'll be looking at these options one by one, and we will understand it. Right. Now, here you can see under get data, there are multiple options: Excel workbook, data flow, Dataverse, SQL server. There are these options that is present from which you can load an Excel file, but not Excel, any data. Excel is just one option. However, we would just to understand how it works, and today being the second day, we will go with this enter data. Right. Enter data is if you want to enter any file, you want to create your own data, you would be using this. In 95% of the times, you would be using an external file, an Excel file or an SQL database you will be loading directly. But if you want to work with any small data sets and you don't want to save it separately and you want to load it, you can go with this enter data option. Right. I'll just tell you what this is. If you click on this enter data, a small window will open and this will be containing cells. You can see it says column 1 and what you see here are rows. Now this is going to be very similar to an Excel. Now what we would do is let's probably take this example where we want to insert a small data of 5 rows and 4 columns, a very small data, 5 rows and 4 columns. right? And these are the cells where you can enter information. Like you double click on this, you can enter the information. But first, let me set the layout. As we know that we need 4 columns, you can click on this plus, right? This plus is for inserting column. So I want 4 columns and I want 5 rows. So this plus, what you see below 1, is for inserting rows, right? So please make sure you do this. Everyone click on this enter data, and here expand this, make it as 4 columns and make it 5 rows. 4 columns and 5 rows. I'll give you a few seconds. Once you do this, we will change the name of the columns and we'll enter some data here and we'll see how this looks like. Now, a good data will always have headers. And what do you mean by headers is the name of the column. A good data will not have column 1, column 2. It will have a particular name for those columns. So let's give those names. I don't want it to be column 1, column 2. So I would say name. I want the first column to be name, second column to be employee ID, third column to be salary, and fourth column, let's keep it as age. Right. Let's enter some random names here. And I'll just say LM. I don't want this 6th one. So I'll select this, right click, and you can delete. Now you can see that I've entered 5 names. Now, if you want to enter, just double click and you can enter the name. Similarly, let's have some employee ID. Right. Okay. As usual, I don't want this. So I have returned the name. I have given the employee ID. Now there is no reason for you to follow the same thing, but you can, give any names that you want here. Salary. Let's put in some values. And age also, I'm going to give some ages here. So if you see, I have entered the data. Now, I don't have this data stored anywhere. I don't have it as an Excel file anywhere. What I've done is I've entered these data. So I'm creating a table. If you want to create any smaller tables, you can do it. It's very easy here. You can create these smaller tables. So please make sure that you create this, just enter these values. And once you have it, I would suggest you to not give load, but if you have given load, it's okay. But I'll give you a minute, make sure you enter this data. Now, once you have entered this information or any information, you can also change the name. By default, this is called as a table, but I want to call this as employee. Let's assume this is all the employee details that we have. So you can give the name employee or you can give the name employee details, whatever. This would be the name of this table. Once you have done all this, you can click on load. The minute you give load, it would take a few seconds for Power BI to load this data and you will be finding the data on the right side. So if you want to create the table, you can go to this enter data. On home, you will be having an option called as enter data. And there you can just enter, add new columns, add new rows. We have created 5 rows and 4 columns. So you can also do the same thing. And it's okay, just enter any random data, it doesn't matter. But still, if you want to look, I'll show you. But everyone, before you have a look, see here on this right side under this data option, you have this employee. This is the table. And if you expand, you see this small arrow. If you expand it, you can see that whatever column that we created, whatever data that we created is present. Right. However, if you want to look at the data, see here, you will not be able to see. If you want to look at the data on the left side, you have an option called as table view. Right. You can see the small button that is called as table view. The minute you click on table view, your data, whatever that we entered, will be appearing here. Right. This is the data that we entered, and this data is appearing. So try this, click on load, have a look at the data, employee, no need to select anything, just have a look at the columns. Then move on to the left side and select this table view. So not only this, even if you're loading a data from Excel or anywhere, you want to look at the data, you don't need to open the Excel every time. You can just click on this table view, which would give you the table. So after entering data, you can just give load and your data will get loaded. Now, everyone, we will not be creating any charts with this, but however, if you notice, before a few columns, we have the summation symbol. And then in front of a few columns, we don't have any symbol or any logo. What could be the reason? Why do we have summation symbol in front of a few columns, and in front of few columns, we don't have any symbol? Or don't worry about no symbol, but tell me why summation symbol is present with only a few columns. Every column has values. Data type, yes, but what's with data type? Number, exactly. When you see summation, it is a numerical column. See, have a look at this table view. Name and employee ID, these all are character values or text values, right? But here, if you see salary and age, these are columns where it is numbers, it's integer, right? So if any time when you have numerical values, you will be having the summation symbol. And the reason is, you might not have access to the data every time, or you might not know what the data is. For example, age could be a column, but it doesn't mean that age will always be a numerical value. Sometimes age could be given in bracket like 20 to 30. It could be a string value, a text value, right? Or age could be given as senior citizen, which is a text value. So if you want to know what is the data type of these columns, you can just look, and wherever you see summation, it's a numerical column. When no symbol is present, it is a text column, or you can also call it as a categorical column. Text column goes by another term, categorical column. Right? Are you all clear till this point? So, Chetan, every session is getting recorded. At the end of the session, I'll be sharing the playlist link with you, so don't worry. Where those are numbers? Yeah, okay, correct. Now, your data would be there on this right side. You will be finding this data. If you don't find it, it's okay, because anyway, this is just a normal process. In fact, I'll also be deleting it. See, this is just for you to understand how Power BI treats the data type. However, now we will be understanding more on creating, visuals from Excel file. We'll load a data and we'll work on that data. Right. So everyone, I don't need this employee table anymore. Every data that you load in Power BI is called with the name table. Right. So any Excel file or any Excel sheet that you load, it goes by the name table. In Power BI, it's a table, one table, two tables, and so on. So I don't want this employee table anymore. So I can click on this three dots on the right side, or you can also right click, and you have an option called as delete from model. I can delete it from the model, but please make sure that you delete only the tables that you don't need, right? If you delete this table and that is a table that you would be needing, then it becomes an issue. So here you can just say yes. we can delete. And the minute you do it, after a few seconds, the table would be gone. Like you will see you haven't loaded any data. Now we will load a data. We will create a data set. And for that, I need you all to download this. Let me give this data set link to you all. Yeah. So guys, please, go to this link and download the data. Some of you might have this data already. It's called as customer analysis. We will be using this customer analysis data. For Power BI, at least for the first few sessions, we will be using this customer analysis data. So if you want to delete any column, you can right click, but it's not recommended if you want to delete any specific column because you are loading the data. And I'll tell you, I'll maybe show you how to delete a column, but that's not something that's recommended. There is, please go to this link, everyone, and download the customer analysis data. I've shared the link on the chat. Go to this link. I'll give you all a couple of minutes. Download this customer analysis. And once you have it, I'll tell you how to load this file. Yeah, I'll be sharing this again. Yeah, this is the link. Please go to this link and you'll be finding customer analysis. You can download this. Great. If you have done this, let's work with this data. I'm going to load this data. I also have this data somewhere. And for me, it will just have the number 1. So don't worry, customer analysis 1. Now, this is an Excel workbook. What you have is an Excel workbook. So you can select this Excel workbook option. And here you can go to downloads. That's where I have my file. I'll go to downloads. And this is the file, customer analysis. You can just say, okay, and it will make a connection. I'll repeat this. Go to Excel workbook. It will be having a dialog box. There you can just go to the place where you have the data. If you downloaded it, it will be there in downloads, or it could be in any location. Please go to go to that location and select the data. Here you can give sheet 1. Right? We will be working with sheet 1 of this. Will not be working with sheet 2 and sheet 3. So for time being, you can ignore it. However, there will be a session where I'll tell you how to work with all the 3 sheets. So you can click on sheet 1, and this is the sheet that we would be working on. Right? So everyone, load this data customer analysis and select sheet 1. After you have selected sheet 1, you can just give load. So go to Excel workbook. I'll show you again. Go to Excel workbook, and wherever you have the data, select that data and click open. Right? So select Excel workbook, go to the place where your data is present, either downloads or documents or C drive, wherever. Go there, select the data, and after that, click on sheet 1, this small box, check this sheet 1 and click on load. Please try this, everyone. And once you have selected the sheet one, click on load. The minute you click on load, once again, it is going to take a few seconds, just like how the connection was done. You can see it says loading data to model. It will load the data one by one, and 2240 rows would be added. And here on this right side, you would be seeing sheet one. Right, sheet one is the one that we loaded, and sheet one is the table. Under this table, you can see that there are a lot of columns. There are almost 20 columns that is present. Right, we'll be discussing a few of these columns. We'll be having a look at this data. But please load and confirm once you have the data inside Power BI. Once you have loaded this sheet one inside Power BI, please let me know. Guys, I'll give you all a minute. Make sure you have the data with me. Okay, great. Ooh, black box is coming. Okay, I'm not sure what is this black box that you're talking about. Okay, now let's go to this view, table view. And here in this table view, sheet one, this is our data. Right, some of you might know this data before. This is a marketing data. We have the customer data with us. You can see every individual row is a customer, like customer ID, name of those customers, the year in which they are born. We have the education details, like what is the education level of the customer. We have the marital status. What is their income? Income is given in dollars. Like this is the amount that they earn every year as dollars. Right, and then we have the number of kids that they have in their home, number of teenagers, what region are they from. Like there are a lot of columns, and these 5 columns, wine, fruit, meat, fish, and sweet, these are the columns, or these are the products. So there is this grocery store that is selling these products, and if you see 11 under wine, it means that the first customer has spent $11 on wine. If you see 13 under meat, it means that the second customer has spent $13 under meat. So like this, we have the data, and we have number of web purchases, store purchases, whether they have made a complaint, whether they have given a response. Right, a very simple data. We will be working with this, and we'll try to create a few charts. Initially, we'll be creating individual charts, and then at the probably at the end of this course, you will be also be creating a dashboard. Okay, now what we would do is, let's understand, let's talk about the columns, or let's talk about, anyway, columns we are clear. So let's take a problem statement and we will solve it. Right, we'll take a very simple problem statement and we will solve it. Here I want to add a question, or I want to add a statement. Now keep in mind, I told this to you before, you will not be the only person to work with Power BI. If you are in a team, there would be multiple people who are working on Power BI. If you go to an organization, there could be 8 to 10 people working on a project, and all the 8 or 10 people, they would be having access to Power BI, and they'll be working on multiple things. Like one of you could be responsible for charts, one of you could be responsible for data transformation, and so on. So it is always better to give instructions to the people, saying that what is it that you're doing. Right, it's always good to give instructions, and to do that, to give instructions, or to do kind of I would say comment, how you can do that is, here under home, you have this option called as text box. You will also be getting it under insert and text box, but we'll be doing it from home tab, home, text box. You can click on this text box. The minute you click on text box, you see a small box here, and you can enter information. Now listen to this carefully, everyone. I'll repeat this. You can click on home and select this text box option. You get a small box. I'm going to make this box some arrangement. Let me make this box into some arrangement. This. And let me enter a few things, right? In this page, we will, but as I start typing, you can see that the words are very small. So I'm pretty sure it will be very difficult for you to look at. It could be easier for you, but when you present it and when there are large audience, it would be difficult for them to look. So what would we do? Let's increase the size. Control A. Make sure every word is selected. Control A. Control A is the shortcut for selecting all. Font size, let's keep it at around 32. When I keep it at 32, you can see the font size is huge. So in this page, we will create a bar chart. For what would we create a bar chart? Total amount or total sales of meat in each region. So in this page, we will create a bar chart for total sales of meat in each region. Let's see how we can work. Now, increasing the font size is not the only thing. You can do a control A. You can either make it bold, you can make it italic. If you want, you can give a different color, right? Any color that you want, you can give those colors. You can align it. So any kind of formatting that you want, you can do it. Right? So you can insert a text box, and this is the information that I have entered. In this page, we will create a bar chart for total sales of meat in each region. So anyone who is opening this Power BI for the first time, they would read this and they'll understand that this is a bar chart that has the total sales of meat in each region. Right? Guys, are you clear with this? Are you clear with how, a text box is inserted and how to enter information in a text box? Try this. Everyone, please create a text box and enter this or any information that you want. And then based on that, we will also be working on a few things. Okay, now that we have done this, let's go ahead and let's create the bar chart. Right? Now to create this bar chart, what would we do is have a look at the question and tell me if you understand the question and on the data that we have, how many columns are there? How many columns are mentioned in the question? Anyone? Two. Okay. If you say two, then what are the two columns? Yeah. What are the two columns? There is okay, it's sales and meat. These are not two columns. Sales and meat are one column. So meat, sales of meat is one column. And what is the second column? Region, right? So there is region and there is meat. Now what we will do is if you want to create a chart in Power BI, it's very simple. Just select those values. First, I'm going to select the region. Here on this right side, you can see region. Now, when I click on region, you will be seeing the regions here, right? All the four regions, central, east, south, and west, all the four regions are available. So here under sheet one, select this region and you can also select meat, right? You can click on meat and this is present, like all the regions and the sum of meat. So it's very simple. Just select region and select meat and you have your data, right? You have your table. right? Please try this, everyone, and create this table and let me know. Have we done? Is our problem done? Problem statement is over. Yeah. No. Okay. What is pending? We need to create it as a chart. Exactly. Right. We don't want to have this as a table. We want to have this as a chart. Right. To have it as a bar chart, what would we do? You can here under visualization, you can select the second option. The stacked column chart is a bar chart, right? So you can select the stacked column chart, and the minute you click on the stacked column chart, you can see that the data is now changed into a bar chart. I'll repeat this. Select region, select meet. The minute you do it, it will be like a table. Sometimes you might get a bar chart directly, but if you are not getting a bar chart, under visualization, select the second option. First one also you can select, but that would be a horizontal bar chart. We need a vertical. So you can select the second option under visualization and you have your bar chart ready. Right? You guys are clear on this? Try this. Everyone, please create a bar chart. So click on region, click on meet, and under visualization, select the second option. Your bar chart would be ready. Okay, if you are unable to select, I think you might be having your cursor inside this text box. What you do is select somewhere outside. Select somewhere outside of this text box, and then you try clicking on the region and clicking on the meet, it will work. Right? Don't have your cursor or active inside the text box. Select somewhere outside of the text box. Right? Somewhere in the bottom you select, and then you try to click on region and meet, it will work. Yeah, have you all done this? Okay. Perfect. Now, what we would do is there are a few more things that you can do to this chart, which is something that I'll be keeping it for the next session. Right. On the next session, we will focus on how to make this chart, format this chart. When I say format this chart, what if you want to change the color? Right. Every one of us is having blue. What if you want to change the font here? What if you want to change the number? So any kind of editing that you want to do, we'll be doing it in the next session. Now I'll give you one question and I want you all to try that, in the new page. You can go to page 2. I'll give you one question. Please do that question. And when you created a chart, send a screenshot, right? If you want to send a screenshot, you can go to snipping tool, right? You will be having the snipping tool on Windows. You can go to the snipping tool and you can just take a screenshot of whatever, you can just clip whatever you want like this, right? I want this chart. So I'm selecting this chart. I'll come to the Zoom chat. I'll just do a control V, which is paste, right? When you do a control V, 1 minute. Yeah, when you do a control V, the chart would be given. So everyone, please create this. I'll give you a question. Create a bar chart for the total sales of fruits by each segment. Okay, instead of segment, can I give Let's go with by each education. So create a bar chart for the total sales of fruit by each education. Try this, create a new page, and in this page, try to create this bar chart and just send a snap. Try this, everyone. Table is not needed. We wanted a bar chart. That's why we changed the table into a bar chart. No other reason. Guys, please solve this question. I'll give you all a few minutes. Once you created a bar chart, take a screenshot and send it on the Zoom chat. Okay, great. I can see a few responses. Everyone, please share it. Yeah, everyone, I'll give you another 3 minutes. Please solve this. I'll also do it, but before that, I want you all to try. So Sachin, what I want you to do is I want you to create a bar chart for the total sales of fruit by each education. So go to a new page, and in this page, based on the question what I've given on the chat, select the columns and create a bar chart. That's it. It's not mandatory for you to send the photo. It's good if you send it just for my reference, but it's okay. If you are confident that you have learned it, then well and good. And very good. I appreciate the effort of people who take photo and send. So you might have joined the meeting through a mobile phone or through some other laptop, and then you have Power BI working, which is a good thing. I appreciate the effort. There is no key for okay. No, you don't need to share your screen, Karthikeyan. What you do is just take a screenshot, come to the chat and do a control V, which is paste it on the chat. Yeah, you can also do Windows plus print screen. That will take the screenshot of the entire thing. If you want it only for the chart, you can use snipping tool. Both works. Perfect. I can see a lot of you are doing it. I'll also be showing you how to do it. So I'll be going here. I'll be selecting education. Right. When I click on education, you can see that 2N cycle, basic, graduation, master, and PhD. So this 2N cycle would probably mean a dropout, and basic would be school. And then you have all this. We also want fruit. So I'll be selecting fruits. And here I can click on this. I can click on this stacked column chart. The bar chart would be ready. I can adjust it. Right. You can see that this is how you can create a bar chart in Power BI. Right. As the course moves on, we'll also be looking at other charts. We'll be looking at a a donut chart. We'll be looking at a pie chart. So we'll be doing all that. Don't worry. Right. So everyone, are you clear on this? Are you now comfortable on creating a bar chart in Power BI? How about others? Perfect. So good job. You guys have created your first chart or your second chart in Power BI. We'll be doing a few other things also. Now, I'll go to another page, and this time I want to do an income analysis for the education. Right. So there is income and there is education. I'll select education. I'll select income. See, once I select education and income, I get this. If you want, you can change it as a bar chart. And I have this bar chart here. But the problem is here in this chart, if you see, the problem is it gives you the sum of income. So it is just adding all the income and it is giving you the sum of income. But when you want to do an income analysis, a good thing would always be to do an average. See, even if you look at colleges, colleges say that this is our average salary, this is our average placement, or they go with median salary, right? No one says this is our total placement data. This is the average salary is what they say. So when you do an income analysis, you should always keep in mind that you need an average. Now, what I'll be teaching you is in Power BI, whenever you select any number, which is income, meet, sales, or any numerical column you select, by default, it will always be a sum. It will be an addition. Right? We don't want that. We don't want addition here. We want to change the aggregation. From sum, you want to change it. Now, when we want to change from sum to other value, how you can do is first, it's the same way. Click on education, click on income. Your bar chart would be ready. And here, once you have the bar chart, you can see under this y-axis, here under visualization y-axis, you have sum of income. Click on the drop down and change this from sum of income. You can change it to average. Right? The minute you click average, the values all change. The bar chart all changes. If you just keep it on any bar chart, you will also be able to see the value. Right? I'll repeat this. What you need to do is here under y-axis, sum of income and drop down, you can change this from sum to average. Right? When you change this from sum to average, you can see the average income. Right, for each education. And not only that, you have a lot of values. You have minimum, maximum, count, distinct, count, standard deviation. A lot of these values are available. Please try this. Please try changing the aggregation from sum to average. Try this, everyone. Good that a lot of you have already tried. Others, if you have not done, please try this. So click on income, click on education, and here under y-axis, click on the drop down and select average of income. Guys, have you all done with this? Any doubts? I hope you are all clear how to change the type or aggregation or calculation from sum to minimum, maximum, average. Okay. Perfect. Now, if you want to save this, it is similar to saving a Excel file. you can just do a Control S. And when you do a Control S, you will be saving this file. It will ask you where do you want to save. You can give any name for it and you can choose the location, right? You can also go to File, Save As, and you can browse this device, right? You can save this anywhere. You can go to Documents, you can go to Power BI Desktop, and here you can just say my first Power BI or Power BI day one. Any Power BI file you want, you can just do a Control S and you can save it. Right. So with that, we come to the end of today's session. And in tomorrow's session, what we would be doing is we will be focusing on editing, which is formatting these charts. And we'll also be learning about other kinds of charts that is available. We'll be talking about a pie chart, and we'll also be looking at all the other charts that is available. Right. I hope you guys are clear on this, on the basics. And once again, if you don't have Power BI, please make sure you install the Power BI software. And I'm sharing the link. You can see the playlist recording link and the feedback link on the chat. Everyone, if you want to have a look at the recordings, you want to have a look at the sessions, if you have missed anything, you can go to this playlist recording. However, attend the session, join the session on time, and if you want attendance, you should be staying till the end, right? So that is also important. Stay on the session till the end. And yeah, so feedback form link is also given, so make sure you give the feedback. Every day I'll be sharing this playlist recording link and feedback link. I'm also sharing the dataset link again if needed. I'll also be sharing the Power BI installation website. Let me see quickly. I have this. Yeah, I'm sharing the Power BI session links, installation links. So please make sure you are ready with those. So Ranesh, if you want the recordings, it will not be available today, but it will be available within 24 to 48 hours on the link what I have shared. If you go to that link, you'll be having it. Probably before your next session, you'll be having the link. All right. So thanks a lot everyone for joining this session. Have a great night ahead, and we'll all be meeting tomorrow. Thanks everyone. Yeah. Good night.